Today's episode is pretty simple. I want you to break the 3 taboos. And these 3 taboos include politics, religion, and sex. And I want you to talk about them. Each one of those subjects plays such a profound role in our life, and yet we've organized our society in such a way that we can't talk about these subjects. And why can't we talk about them? Because there's a high chance that you may offend someone. But really, there is no logical or rational reason behind that offense. And that doesn't sit too well with the logical person that I am. Let's start things off with politics. Politics, in the ideal world, is all about creating a better world. And that's why I'm so passionate about politics, because I believe in a better world and I want a better world. And if we don't talk about politics, we will never get there. So in this mini-series, I will definitely touch base on many subjects that you feel are important, that you feel we should bring on this change. So when that time comes, share the message, discuss the message, and more importantly, you start talking about politics, because they control our country. And when you have someone like Stephen Harper who is doing such horrible policies, if we never talk about them, how are we supposed to let people know that this criminal is running our country? So please, throughout this election, you must talk about politics. Don't be discouraged by those who take offense, because really, there is no reason for their offense. So please, share the message and talk about politics, because we have good things coming down the line and we have one criminal that needs to get out. So talk about politics. Religion, not so much taboo on its own, but to question religion, now that's taboo. But despite how taboo religion was or is, I'm glad some Canadians got out there and did question it. Because even here in Canada, religion has a pretty dark past. If you think of all the children who got sexually and physically abused by our Christian brotherhood, by our priests, not very good. Even further, you think of all the Aboriginals who got sexually and physically abused. And it was even worse, because these poor Aboriginals were taken away from their homes, they could not speak their own language, and they were away from their parents with these molesters. Now think throughout the world of how many people have killed each other over religion, one god over another. And really, even to this day, there is no answer to who is the true God. So think about all those humans who were killed over pointless bloodshed. Religion does not support gay marriages. Religion does not support sex before marriages. Religion does not even support contraception. Religion has many outdated philosophies in this 2015 world, which is why I'm not scared to point them out. And you should not be scared either, because if these philosophies keep going around, no good is gonna come out of it. And I will leave you on this note. Canada is a very progressive nation, and one of the reasons why we are so progressive is because we ditched religion a long time ago. And if you look at my generation, we're not practicing, and for the most part, it's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with spirituality, but there is something wrong with blindly following an ideology. And often enough, that's what religion comes down to. This brings us to the 3rd taboo, sex. And you know what? Sex is life. If it wouldn't be for sex, I wouldn't even be here. And you know what? If we would have never talked about sex, how would we have ever reduced the amount of sexually transmitted disease? How would we have helped to undo the amount of unnecessary and unplanned pregnancies? How would we go about tackling rape? We couldn't, because if we don't talk about sex, none of these issues can come through. And these are important issues. And you know what? When it comes to sex, it is often intimately tied to our very own body. And currently, we live in a society where we pour so much judgment on the human body. On the one scale, you have someone who looks gorgeous, and if he's showing a bit of skin, he may be called a slut. And then on the other hand, those of us who do not have the prettiest bodies at this very time get shamed for not having a gorgeous body. So we have to pick our poison, and really we have to stop this judging, this unnecessary judging of what the human body is. A beautiful creation, no matter who embodies it. And you know what? Frilly the Banana Girl says it the best in this very statement.
You know, at the end of the day, this is just a bit of stretchy cotton coming out of my pants. But because it's underwear, it's like taboo. It's like, oh my god, she's showing her underwear, and her underwear is connected to a pussy. Holy shit, what a slut! Like, seriously, like...
When we don't talk about sex, it's the women who suffer the most. They are the most oppressed when it comes to sex. They get judged the most, as you saw freely right there. For example, think about period shaming. Many men think periods are an hellish liquid coming out of the vagina. For fuck's sakes, wake up! It's just liquid that comes out. It's blood. And you know what? Women don't have a control. Women menstruate. Mammals menstruate. So again, why judge? Why judge something so natural as periods? And what's nice actually about periods is that once your girlfriend is done with them, you get 5 days of sex without needing to worry about pregnancy. That is nice. Also, women get catcalled. They walk down the street, they look pretty because we want them to look pretty, but then they get catcalled all the time. Hey, sweetie, what's up? This, that, this. And it's not good. You know, we need to talk about these issues. And last but not least, there are many women who do not directly orgasm from direct penetration. If we never would talk about sex, these women would have never found out that if we stimulate their clit, they can actually have an orgasm as well. And to all the men and women in that bedroom, we are very beneficial for those orgasms. So you know what? It is one of my many goals throughout this mini-series to shatter these 3 taboos. We need to talk about these subjects because sex is life, politics lead to a better world, and religion has many issues to overcome.